Okay, last lesson in chapter 1, three-dimensional figures. So all this is just a huge vocabulary lesson, knowing names and terms. Okay, so the first one here, this is called a prism. Now, the reason it's called a prism is because it has two bases. The bases are the things that are exactly the same. In this case, that's going to be this triangle and this triangle. Now, it's important you can identify the base because the base is going to determine the name itself. So this is called a triangular prism. So again, it's a prism because it has two bases. It's called a triangular prism because the base shapes are triangles. Now, there are other terms in here, like this line here is referred to as an edge. It's the edge of the shape. Each point where those edges meet is referred to as a vertex, okay? Or vertices is the plural of that. But for the gist of this lesson, we're really just kind of looking at what are the names, okay? So let's go to number 2. Here's the base, and here's the base. Now, if I look at this one right here, that's a square. So this would be called a square prism. Okay, a square prism. Now, there are also square prisms where all the sides are squares. If all the sides are squares, then that's referred to as a probably more familiar term, a cube. Okay. All right, number 3. Here's my base. Here's my other base. Those are both rectangles, so this is called a rectangular prism. Again, these are prisms because there are two bases. Okay, what about number 4? The two shapes that are equal are right here. This one and this one, okay? These are they're kind of weird looking shapes, and we'll do a lesson later on where we'll talk about this type of quadrilateral, but this is called a trapezoidal. It's called a trapezoidal prism. Okay, number 5. So there's my base. Here's the base. If I look, that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So that's called a pentagonal prism. All right, the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bad 3. There we go. So 6 sides, that's a hexagon, so we call that a hexagonal prism. We just add that AL to it to give it a better flow on the name. Okay, some more. All right, this one now, we only have one base shape. One base shape. So if we only have one base shape, these are referred to as pyramids. So this one is called a triangular pyramid. Number 8, here's our base. That's a square, so that's called a square pyramid. Number 9, here's my base. That one is a rectangle, so we call it a rectangular pyramid. So hopefully you're starting to get the gist of how this works. Number 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one back here on the back is 5, so 5, so that's called a pentagonal pyramid. So again, it's all dependent upon, what the base shape is. This next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's a hexagonal pyramid. Okay, now the next one is not got edges, okay? So all of these previous ones that we did that had edges to them, those are referred to as polyhedrons, because they have edges or faces, okay? The sides are faces. They're some sort of polygon shape. Number 12 is not a polyhedron because it has a circular shape to it. So anything that has a circular shape is not a polyhedron. These have specific names instead. This one is called a cylinder. All right, number 13. Also, you see a circular shape here, so not a polyhedron. This one is referred to as a cone. Okay, so cones are similar to pyramids. Cylinders are similar to prisms because if I go back, remember a cylinder, it's like a prism in that it has two bases, this circle and then the bottom circle. Okay. Number 14 here, again, we've got circular shape to it. This is a special one. It's called a sphere. Okay, it looks like a ball. So that's our terminology for these.